And we are live. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Hope you all had an excellent New Year, or New Year's Eve, and that 2021 will be better for all of us than 2020 was. I'm Blue Shirt, and we got Thomas Burnett and
I'm Tom. Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
And just want to say hello to everybody in the chat. James Arthur, nice to see you. Happy New Year. Detroit Spartan. Alejandro, how are you? Good to see you. Happy New Year. I said hello to some guys earlier. Al, good to see you. Rajiv, good to see you. Happy New Year. William Rizzo, Smoke Eater was first. Or fist. And we're just happy that you've all decided to join us. Mr. Perpetual, good to see you, and Happy New Year to you. We hope to be having JCB, who's out there in the chat, join us and talk about his collection. I posted the link, and as always, Flip and Zippo, if you're out there, please join us. You have the link as well. Do you guys want to run through a little bit of news first?
I don't think you've put the link out there in the chat, have you?
I did.
Did you?
But I'll do it again.
Yeah, please, if you
could. Blue Shirt, do you want me to share the screen for the news?
Sure.
Okay. Let me just get a window up and I'll...
Do you see it in the see it in the chat, Thomas?
I see it now. That's lovely. That's great.
Okay. Mason 1, hello, my friend. Happy New Year. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Mason 1 points out we should say hello to the lurkers as well. So anybody lurking, who's watching, hello there.
Okay, let's give you full screen. All right, Ennis, take it away.
So this is the beginning of the year. There's virtually no news, but a couple of things came up. Obviously, almost every news site out there is starting to publish all their lists, the best watches of 2020, what they, wild speculation about what they think they'll see in 2021. And Hodinkee obviously has a new System 51 Swatch watch. But besides that, there's this new Kamei Mark II Constant Force. We've heard about this brand a little bit at the end of last year, and this is their new Remontoir Constant Force Mark II, which is
amazing, isn't it? This one,
yeah, it's an update on their Mark I that was never actually
never released. Yeah,
it was never released. Look, this is a new brand from 2014. It's weird to say that. Their new brand, they're 6 years old, but their new brand that hasn't really done much yet.
Commercially, isn't it? Killian Leshik and Dr. Julian M. Steels, the two people running the brand, aren't they?
Yeah, so a nice remontoir, nice finishing, kind of aesthetics that we've seen from other brands as well. Very high price tag. Obviously, I don't think they've sold any of these yet, but interesting. Obviously, very expensive. So who knows where this brand is going to go? But again, there isn't much news this week.
Yeah, it's very expensive. They said that the Mark II is the contemporary techno style, which is reminiscent of Greubel Forces, didn't they?
Yeah, they have a similar aesthetic. I wouldn't say that they have the same level of complexity.
Right.
I think it's they have the remontoir. I'm not sure that they really have much more. The back is a little bit similar to the Haldeman, where you only see something in the center, but it's not the actual escapement. It's just really part of the gear train and the remontoir. So, but it's a nice watch. It's very expensive. Limited supposedly to 12 units, but they might not get that far. Let's just put it there.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. And the other piece of news this week is the 250th anniversary mega complicated Tour de l'Île Grande Complication.
This is absolutely amazing. This watch, isn't it?
Yep.
I love when you pronounce things properly with the French accent.
I can pronounce some things properly, so as well.
Well, this one's fascinating. It's got the calendar on the back, hasn't it? And the
It does.
Yes.
It does.
Mhm.
Let me just interrupt you for one thing. I've added JCB's joined us, and the rancher and James Arthur is also. I'm going to add them in right now. So sorry, NS. Continue. Oh,
No. Can I just jump in there, Bruce, and just say,
absolutely.
mate, thank you so much for having me on as a guest, and just wanted to give a big shout out to you guys, Thomas
you're
and
welcome.
NS, and also Clive. And
Pleasure having you, JC.
no, it's yeah, no, thank you, and thank you for making a bit of pushing the time back a little bit to account for my weird,
it's our
messed
pleasure.
up time zone. So
My pleasure.
You can't avoid that, my friend. It's our pleasure. I mean, you scheduling down south, down under. I mean, we need to make time differences. So
well,
this
that's
is
it.
a
I mean,
special one-off for you, my friend.
yeah, mate, legendary. And now, I mean, you've got true global coverage now. We've got, you guys over in the US and the UK, and now I'm down in the Asia Pac. So I think it's truly
brilliant.
global watch talk with the punters. So, so thank you guys. It's a real pleasure.
Yeah, all our
Well,
pleasure.
Thank you.
Also, shout out to the punters in the chat as well, and whoever's listening. Good to chat with you guys.
Okay. And then James has joined us as well. Hello, James. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year,
New Year to you
James.
guys. How you all doing?
Great to see you.
I'm sorry about my voice. I've got the down under bug.
Oh, we'll feel better quickly.
Oh yeah, feel better soon. Hopefully.
So, but I wanted to jump on board and actually wish you all a happy New Year, because I've only spoken to one or two of you. So I thought it was a great opportunity to get on board now. And I haven't spoken to NS and I haven't spoken to Clive since he was unwell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How you doing, Clive?
Oh, much better, much better. I'm starting to rebuild my energy, so I just have enough energy to come on and just torment Snorcase watches for a little bit.
you please tell me you have stopped that vaping, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
I'm on him constantly about it, James. I keep reminding him.
Bruce, if anybody can do it, you
got-
can do that. That is for sure.
I've gotten everything out of the house. I'm sitting here. Yeah, you might hear me chewing on gum, but yes,
I have been. I obviously went through it in a very, very bad way. So I have an email half written to send you, but I have been entertaining family down under at our winery, and I haven't had time to finish writing the email, Clive, but I will do so next day or so. And share my story with you, because my story didn't end after the disease, as most of the guys know. I ended up getting several lung infections, which nearly ripped my lungs out. And that's all because I was a smoker beforehand, and because I stopped training and I put on weight, and all those things were contributing factors. So I have written you a long email, to explain what my journey was, so you can maybe use some of those things for yourself.
I certainly I look forward to receiving it. And
anyway, I will sit back and listen now while you guys and you probably need my space for somebody else to jump on board, don't you?
We're good at the moment. We're good at the moment, James.
We're fine, James. Stay and enjoy.
Yeah. Please.
JCB's there.
He is.
Hi,
Mate,
JCB.
G'day, buddy. How are you, mate? I just want to wish you a speedy recovery, man. That sounds really, really harsh what you're going through, and we're all wishing you the best, mate.
It's just where I am in Australia, mate. It's the seasons, I'm down far down across the sea in Australia, on the little island.
Okay.
And
Whereabouts is that, mate?
Pollens and stuff,
Yeah.
Down in Tassie, mate.
Okay. Yeah. This is the weird time of year with all that stuff with the pollen and all that. So yeah,
and the fresh air, mate. It's fresh air down here is not like what we're used to, and so we've got all these things happening down here. Our bodies are not used to.
Used to all that pollution, all the LA fog, mate.
Yeah, and even Paris doesn't have air quality like this. So we've all got it. So it's just ridiculous.
Now, is Tasmania far enough away from the coast of Australia so you're at least not being exposed to Minotaur damage?
Absolutely. Guess what? Where I am, there is no COVID. There has been no cases other than the ones that have been airlifted in here from the sea or off ships. And the borders are locked unless you have a private jet to get in here. And you are a resident where you own something. And there's no cases and there's been no deaths. So it's a pretty safe harbour. But even still, they still follow all the procedures of safe distancing, masks, arm taps. There hasn't been a case found in this state of Australia.
Excellent.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I hope you continue to get well, James, and a personal thank you for joining us. It's good to talk to you again.
I wanted to hear you guys' voices. Obviously, like you all, I miss Chris as well. I had the opportunity to speak with him recently for about an hour or so.
That's great.
But obviously, I love these shows in this format, and you guys put a lot of work into them. So, I'm looking forward to what's ahead for 2021. And Chris is obviously out there listening, which I hope he is.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zippo.
Shout out.
I send you my love as well, Chris.
We love you,
Happy New Year
Chris.
to you, and mate, I just hope that we, you jump on board, back on board again, mate, because you're an important part of the journey and a very important part of our friendship. And, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Chris and Thomas and Blue Shirt. I think Clive's the same. JCB certainly will be the same. So,
100%.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas and you guys, Thomas and Blue Shirt and Chris, you three blokes, and Neo and NS, you guys all started this thing off rolling. And I've got to say, from my point of view, I've been pretty vocal about it because I didn't like the fact that everybody jumped. And I got to say, you five blokes started something really, really special to the point in my life, with all my business in my life and my business in my life. The thing that I enjoyed most in my life every single week was this get together on a Sunday with you five blokes and the people who are listening right now. Yeah. So that means a lot, and I think everybody played a very big part in that. It was Chris who was doing all the work that he did with the computers and the links, and having a laugh. To Anas with his encyclopedia knowledge of the news for the week, and Thomas's research on things from books clubs to micro brands to macro brands to all the wit and humour that he brings to the channel, to Blue Shirt, to everything he did to controlling and emceeing the channel. Neo always had brought different edges to the channel. Who I've forgotten because I'm feeling unwell.
I think we covered it all. It's better than any of us could, and we all agree 100% with you. So
it's just sad that I feel like I'm back in my military days, and where we don't leave a man behind, and I feel like we've left a man behind in the field somewhere, and I want him to come back.
As we all do.
Yeah, too true.
Anyway, but guys, I love you all, and you're all my friends, and yeah, obviously having people like myself join as special guests, and obviously having ID Guy and Clive. Clive brings the best wit and humour to this live stream. I mean, Clive, you just bloody amaze me every time. You have me laughing.
All I'm doing is just counterbalancing.
Clive, you've got amazing watch knowledge. You've got amazing knowledge to the degree of vintage is unbelievable, and you bring amazing humour to the show. You really do. Everything you're on, I miss being on your live streams, but unfortunately, when you had your live streams going, timing hasn't been on my side of late, so because of the time differences. But I look forward to being on them again soon. But yeah, guys, let's just keep doing what we've been doing, because I think we've really improved things for the watch community with the content in 2021.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, James.
And well said. Well said. I just want to give a late welcome to some of the guys who just joined in. Hans Knees and Toes, Hansi, good to see you. Doc BBC, and a big welcome to a longtime friend of all of ours. Howdy from Texas, man. Good to see you. And Happy New Year, Howdy.
Yeah, great to see you, Howdy. Oh, has James dropped off? Oh.
Yes. Looks like you did. Hopefully you're still listening, James. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but big hello to everyone then. Dante, Rajiv Mirage, Hatsi, Hans Knees and Toes, Mac Rolex, Doc BBC, everyone in the crowd. Good to see you all. Detroit Spartan, howdy from Texas, as Blue Shirt just said. Junior Johnson, all the crowd. Orange Hand, Alex Spain. Great to see you all.
Yep.
So, JCB.
Yeah, mate.
Welcome, JCB.
Welcome.
Hey,
welcome.
Thanks again, guys. Thanks again.
Special guest.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. James was talking there a little bit about the show, and I just wanted to echo that and just say, look, this is for me at least, it's one of the best shows, if not the best show for watch enthusiasts out there. So the way that you guys go, I think it's just because it's so informative. You cover all the bases, and you really cover the industry and the pieces really well, and the chemistry between you guys. You're just good mates, and so to be joining you guys on the panel and mixing it up with you guys, and it's just a real privilege and an honor. So great to be here. So thanks again.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. So no. Got some comments there. Mr. Beaver changed his accent. Yeah.
We're going to start off with a watch choice that Neo had selected, but I think we may save that for another stream when Neo's with us. So
we had something planned for the end, but it was Neo's idea, so we need to wait until he's with us.
You did put to us one question, JCB, which was you invited to dinner, and you have a choice to invite somebody from the watch industry to dinner.
Well, I'll give you the question. The question for you guys is this: so you can invite 3 people to dinner. You're having a dinner party and a few drinks. It could be any 3 people, but one person at least has to be from the watch industry. So who would those people be? Maybe we'll go around the panel, and then I'll finish off maybe or whatever. But that was the question. I thought it might be a bit interesting to get your thoughts on watch people that you'd like to talk to, and also just other people generally in the world, could be alive or dead, whoever that you'd like to have a chat with.
Oh, well,
excellent.
I think. Do you want to start off, Blue Shirt?
Put
the pressure on you.
Okay, sure. I'll go with personal heroes of mine, at least for the first 2, and I'll leave the watch person to last. One of my personal heroes is Winston Churchill. I would love to talk to him. I'll go with my second one was my boyhood hero, sports wise. I just idolized him growing up. Tom Seaver, he was a pitcher for the New York Mets, Hall of Famer. He just died in 2020, not too long ago. He had Alzheimer's, and it was very sad to see him go. And for my watch person at this dinner, it's close because I would love to talk to Roger Smith and I would love to talk to Philippe Defoe. But I would, as far as entertainment at a dinner party, it would have to be Jean-Claude Biver.
Good choice there, man. Good
Your
choices
namesake,
there.
just because he's such a personality and he's been involved in so many different brands, reviving Blancpain, and he's been all. The only place he hasn't worked is Rolex and Patek.
And Hublot, he was massive at Hublot, wasn't he?
Right. Hublot, Zenith. And that's funny. Those are the two watches he collects in his own personal collection. He has Pateks and Rolex. That's
interesting. That
ironic.
Isn't it?
It's it's funny. Also, the two other gentlemen that I mentioned, Roger Smith and Philippe Defoe, they have Rolexes in their collections as well. It's just funny how that works. But anyway, Thomas, you're next. Who 3-person dinner party?
I haven't really thought of the others, but I can easily think up some people. Miles Davis would be a definite.
Cool.
Yeah, and Nina Simone, I think, would be another one, definitely. But my watch person, I was going to go for. We were fighting over Jean-Claude Biver, and who was going to invite. But I went for Catherine Renier, who's the CEO of JLC. She worked for Van Cleef and Arpels. Joined JLC in 2018.
Maybe, a couple of years ago.
I'd like to ask her a few questions. Why she's so focused on further cementing the Reverso's position as an icon for JLC, and why at the same time continuing to evolve its entire horological portfolio. Does she feel how does she feel as a woman that the watch world is a men's space or male dominated, and how has she been treated?
I just want to interrupt you just for 1 second, Thomas. Just because another old friend of ours is popped in. It's Geezer. Welcome, Geezer. Happy New Year, my friend.
Geezer.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you.
Another one would be when will JLC make a watch out of fully recycled parts, or as much as possible, and will they eventually do that? Also, will they eventually reopen the factory in Le Sentier and make it more accessible to customers to potentially finish parts of their watches themselves? Maybe like enameling the back of a Reverso, for example, for an extra price, or
very cool.
Or being able to actually finish a watch themselves. But I'd really like to see them do some sort of recycled watch. I'm really into recycled watches at the moment.
Interesting.
Right. Are you a JLC fan, Thomas, or do you have any JLC in your collection?
I'm a fan, but I don't have any JLCs. Any watches. I know that the next man we will move on to is a huge JLC man.
Yes. Big time fanboy.
And there's something. Who's your choice?
Well, I had only thought about the watch personality, but now that I think of it, right, let's combine this with non-watch people, but let's have a twist and keep it in the same vein. So why not invite Neil Armstrong, right, and maybe ask was the Speedmaster actually a good watch, or did they all hate it?
Good question.
So I'd choose him. I think if the conversation is going to be about watches and the watch industry, and I kind of feel like a great person to have dinner with and have a beer with would be Max Buser. I'm sure he has tons
Good
of
choice.
Yep, I'm sure he has tons of nice stories. And then I think.
He also played Jethro on the Beverly Hillbillies.
I think for my last choice, I would cheat and invite 2 people, and hopefully one of them would show up, and keep it in the watch world. I've got to say, I think Jean-Claude Beaver would be a nice person to invite, and maybe talk more about his cheese making rather than watches.
Yeah.
Maybe that's interesting. And I think also we'd want to invite Nicholas Hayek, right, from Swatch. I'm sure he has tons of stories to tell. So those would be my picks.
Awesome. Rancher,
But-
you're up.
Okay. Now, can only one be in the watch industry, or can more than one?
No, it's
Sure,
more.
we'll-
It's just
we'll
at
allow you
least
more
one.
than-
Just
we'll
at
allow you
least
more than
one.
At least one. Okay.
Yeah.
The first one would be Jean-Frédéric Dufour, the CEO of Rolex.
Yeah.
The second one
Yeah.
would be Nick Hayek, the CEO of Swatch. And the third one would be Jesus of Nazareth, because the first chance I'm going to go pull him aside and say, "Hey, you think you can smite these other two?"
And also, just to say, how did you pull it off, man? How did you come back from the dead? I mean, that's an all-time feat. Come on.
I'll be telling me that, and I'll be cutting him off. Yeah. Smite.
Nice.
What about yourself, JCB?
So look, you guys have touched on a few there already. Look, I'll leave JCB aside. He was going to be my number one pick. Obviously, he's he's the man. He's kind of inspiring to me, not so much for what he's done in the watch industry, but just generally about how he approaches business. He's really, really passionate, and he's really passionate about innovation, which is what I'm sort of passionate about in my life and in my career. So, well, JCB he's kind of the man, but I'll leave him aside. Everyone's kind of picked JCB. So I think the other watch guy from the industry who I really admire is Ariel Adams. He's a journalist. He's obviously a media guy.
Yeah.
But he's got such a great sort of perspective on the industry, the macroeconomics and the microeconomics, and I just think he'd be a good guy just to pick his brain and get a really objective. Like, he's kept objective throughout being, a media guy. He's kept that objectivity, and that he's not a sellout. He hasn't done a hodinky as far as I know as yet. So
No travel clocks.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
travel
$6,000 travel clock was a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So JC, so Ariel Adams, I'll go with. Another one which NS mentioned was Max Buser. I'm a massive MBNF fan, so it would have been cool to have a chat with him. But I'll leave him to the side. Maybe I'll shove in maybe Jimi Hendrix. I reckon I'd throw him in the mix just because.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, my son's been getting into Jimi Hendrix and playing guitar, so I've been listening to a lot of that in the background.
Mhm.
And man, he was the thing about Hendrix was that he was just so good, but he was just getting started. He was only 27 when he passed away. And the thing is, that's the thing. Like, he was, just imagine if he had done another 10 years of music, or if he was still around. I mean, the stuff he would have put out would have just been mind blowing. So yeah, I'd love to have Jimmy, and I think I'd just kind of mix up the panel a little bit, get a female into the mix, and probably throw in maybe let's go with Amal Clooney, just because sorry George, but Amal's pretty cool, I think.
Why
And
not?
she's a lawyer as well, so maybe we could talk about I don't know, the penal codes of various jurisdictions, or human rights law, or something like that. So
We've missed quite a few, haven't we? I mean, Detroit Spartan brings up Gerald Genter,
Yep.
George
Yeah.
Daniels, Peter Hanline. I mean, there's Terry Stern.
yeah,
Orange Hand brings
there's
up
heaps.
Selma Hayek, Mr. Perpetual
Yeah.
brings up. There's all sorts of people we've forgotten about.
Yeah, there's
The other
some real
one,
good ones.
yeah, Clyde mentioned Dufour at Rolex. I'd love to get him. I'd love to just talk to him and say, like, what's going on? What are you guys doing? What's the get it from the horse's mouth. There's a lot of speculation about Rolex and what they're up to in terms of restricting supply and trying to chase after Patek, and it would be cool to hear it from the horse's mouth, I reckon, and get the scoop.
But
Yeah,
do you-
Art?
yeah, but do you think you would actually get any information out of
Well,
guys
I would
like
get him
that?
totally drunk, NS. That's my point. I'd pull out the Johnny Walker Blue Label and the Balvenie 14-year-old and all the heavyweight stuff. And after dinner, I just basically ply him with alcohol and get it out of him that way.
Nice.
Maybe the truth serum and waterboarding.
Right. Orange Fan has some good suggestions too. Super Collector John Goldberger and David Parmigiani.
Yeah,
Mhm.
some good choices. Yeah, the guys in the chats have come out with some really good ones. So yeah, thanks guys. That's really interesting. It's good to see, good to get a bit of an insight into you guys and your interests kind of outside of the watch industry as well. I think it's a good question just to throw at people that you're just
Yeah,
meeting or
definitely.
getting to know, just to break the ice. It's a bit of a conversation
Definitely.
starter.
So, JCB, tell us about your
Yeah.
watches. What watches have you got?
Cool. So, I've, I'm a bit of a newbie sort of collector. I'm a bit of a, I'm a junior burger compared to you guys. I've been into watches for a long
cool.
time,
Oh.
but I've only just kind of started to pick up a few pieces. And last year I picked up a couple. COVID, and I think it affected everyone. We really looked at our
Yeah,
collections and we made a few moves. So, the watch I'm wearing at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it was more for me. It was a lot of it was a coping mechanism as well, being stuck inside. And in Melbourne, in Australia, we had one of the harshest lockdowns and one of the longest lockdowns for a very, very long time. It's like 4 months or something. So
Yeah,
I was just
not good.
I was just starting to go loopy and lose my mind. So, I even started putting some videos out and just doing stuff as an outlet, as a sort of a creative kind of outlet for me to keep my sanity. So in terms of the watches, I picked up a really cool piece last year, which is a Zenith El Primero, and that's the Zenith Captain, which is sort of the dressier version of the El Primero. They just discontinued it maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I think. So it had and I'm going to say like a 10 to 15 year run, I think, and it came out in. So it's a stainless steel case, and compared to the other El Primeros, it's a very sort of a laid back looking watch. It doesn't have the tricolor dial. It doesn't have the open work, but just a beautiful black dial. It's got a sort of a quasi Biocompax layout to the chronograph, which is what the Biocompax is kind of really cool, I think. But just a beautiful everyday piece just to wear for work, basically. And this, I'll do a video review of this one and drop that in the next week, I think, because it's not a very well known watch. In Australia, just so that you guys know, like in Australia, Zenith it's not really a very well known brand. Like the real enthusiasts know about it and they're really passionate about it, but generally just kind of your general punters, they're just not very well versed in Zenith and they don't really know much about the brand. So that was it took me like 3 or 4 years to find this piece in Australia because they didn't actually bring it out here. So so it kind of felt good, when you're on the hunt and you see something come up on eBay or on a forum and you're just like, you're just inside, you're just kind of screaming like, that's the piece I want, It was one of those, it was one of those moments. So I did. And the thing is, this is the thing that worked out in my favor. The fact that no one in Australia is really into Zenith. Like I was the only guy that inquired about the piece. And so I was able to negotiate a really good price and just kind of to screw this guy down a little bit. So that's, so that was kind of in my mind last year, one of the really big pickups for me. I mean, I love just
So
the quality of Zenith. Sorry, go on. So on, Thomas.
Sorry, no, after you, JCB.
I was going to say, what's impressed me as well is the quality of the piece. Like Zenith, it was my first one, and you look at it, the tolerances are all really tight, and you look to the movement, it's all beautifully finished, and it's just such a well-made watch for the money. Like on the used market, I mean, guys, get onto it. Like you can pick up some killer deals on this brand. So yeah, have a look.
Beautiful watches.
They are vastly underrated watches. They are well built, stylish. Historic, iconic. I mean, the brand is one of my favorite ones, and
Yeah.
eventually I will be adding a Zenith to my collection.
Me
I just
too.
wanted to say, give a shout out to Showcase Watches, James. Welcome,
Yeah, welcome,
Good to see you.
James.
And Clam Walker.
I was just going to go back to what you were saying, JCB, about you made a few videos. You've actually started a video
Yeah.
channel, haven't you? And,
Yeah,
there's some
please
good
let
videos,
us know about it.
There's some good
Yeah.
videos. Please let us know about it, because I was going to say a few more watches out of your collection are featured on those videos on your channel,
Yeah.
haven't they?
Yeah, yeah.
About those other watches.
Yeah, cool. So, guys, if you want to, if you're interested, just check out my channel. Look, as I said, it started off just more as a creative outlet, and my philosophy about it was also, it's always been sort of to just add some information to the knowledge bank. You know what I mean? To give people just a bit of extra information if they're looking at a particular piece, and I'd always had it in my mind to do a review of the other chronograph in my collection, which is a Breitling Transocean chronograph limited edition.
That's lovely. Yeah, really nice.
Yeah,
Looks lovely in the video.
thank you, thanks, Thomas. Yeah, that was the piece that started it off, because I was looking for a wedding watch back in 2011, and so going through the process of looking for the piece, I just went down the watch rabbit hole properly, and I think that's when I jumped off the deep end, into this crazy sort of the illness, as Mark Goldberg describes it now. So it's just, and there's not much information about that watch. There hasn't been many videos. The Transocean line in Breitling is not very popular. I would say in the world of Breitling, not many people even know about it. But they're great watches. They're really, really well, really great quality. Just really nice watches to wear. A little bit on the big side. The case is 43, so you have to be comfortable pulling off a watch at 43. But they've made some other Transoceans since then that are a bit smaller, like 38, I think, and they've really expanded that lineup. So
it's got a lovely Milanese bracelet on it, though, hasn't it? It's good.
Man, I'm actually going to do another follow-up video, Thomas, just on the bracelets, because I've got that.
Gorgeous, beautiful bracelets.
And we got Neo.
Hi, Neo.
Hey, Neo.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, JCB.
That's the watching your avatar.
That's cool.
That's a watching your avatar with
that's
the
the one.
bracelet.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, the bracelet. Look, Breitling bracelets. If any of the punters out there are kind of on the fence about the Milanese, look, seriously, it's so comfortable. It's beautiful. So well engineered. I honestly just don't know how they do it. Like, it's a feat of kind of engineering. It's a masterpiece, if I can put it that way. So I also just picked up the rubber version of the Milanese strap. So and that's just to mix it up, and with the hot weather in Australia coming up in the summer, I thought I'd mix it up. So I've got those two straps for it. I've also got a whole heap of other straps, leather and that. It's a real strap monster. So it's a really, really, really nice watch.
Sorry, Blue Shirt.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I was just going to say another one you pointed out which was a strap monster in one of your videos, was the Omega. If you want to tell us about that one, you got an Omega Seamaster, haven't you?
Yes, Thomas. Yeah, so that was the other watch I picked up last year. Was the Seamaster Professional, the black dial, just as a sports watch. Really, really versatile piece. Really, it's so well engineered, that watch.
You don't like the bracelet on that one, though, do you?
Yeah, look, that's the only thing. Like the bracelet, I think I'm not sure what's going on over there, but there's a couple. I mean, the main issue with the bracelet is the inside edges are really quite sharp, and it's not just my one. I've asked other people about it, and they've all sort of agreed that it's a bit of an issue. And the other thing is that the clasp is really quite thick. Now it has to be thick. I get that it has to be thick because of the adjustable clasp mechanism, which is awesome, right? It's a great mechanism, but the trade-off is that the clasp is really quite thick. So if you're desk diving, you're gonna bang it up pretty quickly,
Right.
So that's the thing, and you can put it on a strap and rubber or whatever, but it sort of defeats the purpose, right? I mean, you're buying a watch on bracelet to wear it on the bracelet, right? So you know, I'm actually I'm halfway. I'm on the fence about flipping it to actually pick up another Zenith. So I'm just kind of
Really?
yeah. I'm in in 2 minds. Like it's actually the dial and the case though is amazing. Like it's beautiful watch to look at, and to the watch head itself is really cool. But yeah, it's just the bracelet is a little bit of a sticking point for me. So I'll give it a few more for more months of wear and see if I can bond with it a bit more.
I
But
was going to say you said you're going to flip it, and you'd recently taken a visit to one of the Rolex ADs in Melbourne, hadn't you? And I was wondering, is it going to be for on the Rolex that you'd seen? Because you'd taken a fancy to the No Date Sub and the Oyster Perpetual Bike Freedom dial, hadn't you?
Yeah. Look, so with the Rolex releases, so what I went into that AD 1 week just to see if they happen to have any Note 8 subs in on display. And get this right, this is how ridiculous it is. In the store that day, they only had one men's watch, like in the whole store. And it
Really?
was, yeah. I just don't get it. Like it's
What?
just, huh?
Cellini?
No, it was a two-tone date just with a white dial.
Oh,
But I mean, you guys, I mean, this is Rolex. Like, it's the biggest watch brand in the world. You go into and this,
I know.
like, how can you only have one men's watch in the whole store? Like, I just don't
Right.
get it, to be honest. Anyway, so at the time,
Well, people
They-
bought them. People bought all the watches there.
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, get some
It's a
shipments
crock.
in. Or,
It's a
that's-
crock because they get deliveries all the time. It's just part of the game that they're playing. That's why you're only seeing one. I mean, some
Yeah.
ADs are worse than others at playing the game, but they get
Yeah.
stuck. Take my word for it. They get stuck.
yeah,
if
I'm
you
sure
find,
they had.
If you find an AD that plays the game a little bit less, we have up here in Canada, we have a big jewelry store that has become sort of a chain, and you can go in any day of the week, and they'll have tons and tons of men's Rolexes in the cases. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a weird situation here in Australia. NS, it's just maybe it's because we're in the arse end of the world. I don't know. It's just really weird.
Not
So
at
anyway,
all.
they
Not at all.
said,
get the same here too. We have some
yeah,
that-
but
I just
I
wanted
know.
to interrupt you just for 1 second. I wanted to give a special channel-wide shout-out to our junior punter, Lucian. Good to see you.
See you, Lucian.
Hello, Lucian.
Hello.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's so yeah. So at the time, so that day, I said, "Oh, hey guys, come on, what's going on here?" They said, "Oh, look, we're gonna have the 2020 novelties in, next week. Come along then, book in some time, and you can get to have a play around with them all." So I was like, "Okay, that sounds great." So took my phone along, and yeah, look, I think so I did a video about it. I wasn't allowed to shoot video in the store, but I took some photos and some wrist shots of the display pieces. So that was cool just to see them up close and personal. I think the one that I wanted to really see was the Note 8 Submariner, because I think now with the 41 subs, they've really just nailed it in terms of the case shape and the case design. It's got all the latest technology in it with the new movements and glide lock. The dimensions, and obviously ceramic as well. So they've basically, in my mind, with the sub, the Note 8 or the Date, whatever, they've really brought out the most sort of, in my mind, it's the best Submariner of all time, really. So and I think people have probably got caught up in the Cermet hype a lot, I think, and they just sort of forgot about the Note 8 and just the standard Date and Note 8. But to me, in my mind, I reckon they're killer. They're killer watches. They just nailed it. Obviously. So I wanted to have a look at those, and yeah, look. The problem is, I'm not the sort of person that's going to get allocated one of these pieces. Like I don't have a purchase history and yada yada. I'm not willing to buy pieces that I don't want just to flip them. So
I don't blame you.
yeah, so I mean, I've kind of in my mind, I'm resigned to the fact that I'm not going to get one, and that's cool. It's time to move on. There's other brands.
Never say never. Never say never. When the way I got mine was just pure dumb luck, and I I lucked into it. So never say never. When you least expect it, one will present itself. You just got to jump at the opportunity if you really love the watch.
Yeah,
And
I mean, my AD had no reason to give me a Batman, but I got a phone call one day, you know. So you never know. Just go tell them that you're interested and be nice to them.
Yeah.
And check in every once in a while to remind them that you're interested and that you're nice to them.
Yeah.
And you may get a phone call.
Yeah, for sure. And the cool thing was, I was chatting to the sales associate who was in there. Like, we were just having a great chat about heaps of stuff. Like, she's into artwork, and like she does her own art, and she does, she's got her own Instagram channel, and I was having a look at that. Like, it was good just to talk about, get to know them a little bit. And I wasn't trying to play the game. It was just genuine. I showed her my channel on my phone, and just showing them that I was a genuine enthusiast. I think, let's see. We'll see what happens.
That video that you did about the Rolex actually got 1,500 views in about 4 days.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
5 days, you got 1,500 views, which are amazing.
Crazy. People,
just put Rolex in the title, man.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. You put Rolex in the title, and anything to do with Rolex ADs. I mean, all you guys out there just gobble up that stuff. Everyone loves reading about it, hearing about it, and talking about it. So
one thing you said in one of your videos was you do not consider yourself a collector now.
Yeah, it's interesting, Thomas, because I did. If anyone's interested, I did a philosophy video, like a strategy video, which is something I developed last year, being in lockdown, just thinking about like what's my philosophy and how do I approach collecting now. And I kind of came up with this kind of philosophy. It's really about quality versus quantity. Like, I want to have just nice pieces, and it doesn't matter what the number is, because it's always going to be constrained by your budget, right? However much money you've got, that's what you've got. But working within that, I try and get the best pieces that I can get for the money. So it's not going. I'm not going to be picking up a new watch every 6 months or whatever. It's going to be, I'll just be kind of biding my time, just saving up a little bit more money, and really, really loving the piece that I want to get and then get it. So I don't know if that's what a collector really is anymore. Like, I think we have this concept of collectors as people just picking up stuff like all the time. Maybe I could be wrong, but
so talking about watches that are expensive, you gave us a list of a few watches, which are, I presume, are Grail watches of yours that we could go through.
Yeah, look, I'd love to. I mean, I thought it'd be cool just to maybe,
go through these quickly if you want.
Let's have a bit of watch porn,
All right.
And, that's what we're here for. We love looking at the killer pieces, right? So I thought we'd have a look at, first off, Bruce, if you got the links going, maybe we can look at the Patek
6301P.
That's it. That's the one. Look, to me, that was, let alone being a release of last year, I think this is like a release of the last couple of years, maybe the last like 10 years or something. I mean, it's just such a killer watch. Everything about this watch, I just love it. But I mean, no one was really expecting it when it came out. Like, it just came out, and it just blew everyone away. Or at least it did for me anyway. It was really Patek just trying to stamp its authority back on the industry, and just to say, Lange, you think you've got it under control. This is how the king kind of does it. That's what it felt like to me. It was like more about the statement that they were making than the actual watch, right? So, I mean, get this. This is a first for Patek, Grand Sonnerie at Petit Sonnerie, minute repeater, and jumping small seconds as well, right?
It does everything. Everything.
Get that. And look at that. Like, parts, 703 components, right? I get this part. It's all packed into the case, which is 44 millimeters by 12 millimeters.
Amazing.
So think about that technical achievement, like the technical innovation that they've done with this piece. Absolutely mind blowing. Like, I love that. So that you've got the complication part, and then you look at the aesthetics. I mean, look at that watch itself. You've got the symmetry of the dial. It's
Balanced.
it's balanced. With the two power reserve indicators, which Patek fans will know that's borrowed from the Grandmaster chime. But black Grand Foy enamel, the white gold breguet numerals. I mean, come on, man! Everything about this watch,
It's got everything.
Yeah.
It's got everything.
man. Yeah. So that was, to me, that was probably one of the killer pieces for me. Next, just quickly, we'll sort of move on.
How big is this watch?
So it's 44.8, I believe, 44.8, about 12 millimeters, Neo, like the thickness of the case. So, it's a wearable, super complication watch from Patek. This is the watch that, if you're like Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or something, this is the watch that you should be buying, The next one, another Patek. This one, the 5370p, not a new. The 5370 itself is not a new watch. It's been around for about 5 years, but here they've done it in the beautiful blue Grand Foy enamel. They've basically taken one of the most beautiful chronograph designs ever, in my opinion, and they've made it blue. So how much? What more? What else? What do you want?
It's got my vote.
It's a winning recipe, isn't it?
Man, I mean, and this is so with that 6301p, it shares the same case, I believe, as this watch. So, imagine you had those as a 2-watch collection. That would be really be something special, I think. Split seconds chronograph, obviously, it's another super complication. Very, very hard to do. So this watch is not cheap, at about 260 USD, I think.
A mere bag of chocolate.
But yeah, beautiful. I mean, imagine wearing that with a blue suit, window pane suit, white open shirt or something. You just feel like $1 million, And that's what it's about for me. Like the feeling. Watches are about emotion, right? It's about how they make you feel. That's what we love about them. And I think if you're wearing something like this, like you'd feel like $1 million.
You're paying quite a bit of a premium for that.
For sure. For sure, man. Yeah, they're not cheap.
What is that? Yeah. Well, they can be if you're IWC or Harboring, right? I mean, they could take a 7750 and slap one on and sell it for like $11K. But I mean, this is an amazing watch. It's definitely an amazing watch.
Yeah, very,
really
very
nice.
cool.
Really nice watch.
So, continuing, I think, what do we got up next? I think continuing, we'll maybe look at the Langer, Bruce.
Yeah, I think that's coming up next. Just give Blue Shirt a little time.
Yeah, cool.
Look
So
at that
continuing on
one.
the
Wow.
Yeah, so another split seconds watch. This is another first for Langer here with a split seconds, 1815 Retropant in honey gold.
Look at that.
So a number. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's just amazing. And this is how sort of mentally deranged Langer is as a brand, right? When they were first bringing out a split seconds, they were like, everyone's doing a split seconds. We're not going to do a split seconds. We're going to do a double split. Okay.
Wow.
So the first split that they brought out was the Datograph double split back in 2004. And then that was followed by the Datograph triple split in 2018. And, you'd have to be living under a rock to not know what the back of the triple split looks like. It's like a jungle of mechanics, right?
Yeah.
And so they missed out on doing just a single split chronograph. So this is the first single split that they've done. So, and I think they're just the design with the black dial with the honey gold, beautiful. And yeah, look, I mean, when are you going to use a double split? It's probably
Right.
who cares? No one is.
Right.
But just for the, it's kind of for the sake of innovation and the technology. I just love that sort of.
If you're timing races, if you're timing multiple people racing, then
for sure. So that was the Langer. What do we got next? The next one. Let's move on to VC. There's a Vacheron Constantin overseas perpetual calendar ultra thin skeleton. So this is
I don't think we got the skeleton version. I think I chose the wrong one. I think, and not the skeleton version.
Okay. So Yeah, so this is the ultra thin that we're seeing up on the screen. I think the ultra thin has been around for a couple of years, maybe 2016, I think.
Mhm.
But 2020 they brought out the skeleton version of the watch.
Oh, you can
If you
just
have,
click,
yeah, you
click
can
on the
just
skeleton there. If you
yeah,
just
click on
it
the
there,
skeleton.
You should come up. Wow.
Better?
Look at that.
I mean, oh man, look at that. I mean, this is
Pretty
just
wild. Pretty
I
wild.
I can't tell the time on these CJCP.
Yeah,
I
that's
find it
my
hard to tell
problem,
the
too.
time on them.
I can't tell the
cares,
time
man?
on them either.
Who
cares?
Who cares? Like, come on.
cares?
This is the like it's the ultimate sort of sports watch, right? Full rose gold. Sorry, I think they call it pink gold. If we look at the skeleton work. They've had to rework the movement a little bit to pull out this skeleton watch, and I just think, just as a again as a sort of a grail piece, it's just it's ultra thin. It's only 8 millimeters, I think. Perpetual calendar, obviously with moon phase. Just a real statement piece, just a real killer piece, and you get the 3 straps obviously because it's an overseas, so you don't need to have the gold bracelet all the time, and it really works well on the leather and rubber as well. Yeah, that's the thing I love about VC. You get those straps, but here, full pink gold, the ultra thin. Absolutely love that one. Yeah,
$120,000, $121,000.
Yeah, not a cheap watch, but hey, we're dreaming big here, guys. So
Right.
and I think lastly,
How thin that is.
yeah, look, that's the thing that kills me with it, the thinness. I've become a real sucker for thin watches, and just look at the profile when you're imagine wearing that. Oh man.
I've tried the ultra thin on, not the skeleton version, but the ultra thin golden. Well, I haven't tried it on. I've held it in my hand, and it is a really, really, really thin watch. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I just think they knocked it out of the park. And 2020 was a year that Vacheron sort of came into my mind. I'd never really been a Vacheron guy. I'd never really known much about him, but looking at the overseas and
Was it consensual, at least?
Sorry, Clyde?
Was it consensual, at least?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Yeah. So, Vacheron might be. I mean, I probably might look at MOTs maybe in the next couple of years. We'll see. They're expensive watches. Like, they're just the standard 3-hander overseas is.
I must say, JCB, though, the bracelet on the overseas, the Generation 3 overseas, the current one is absolutely the best bracelet I've ever tried. It's just stunning.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that exact same thing, Thomas. Yeah. I'll have to go and try one on.
Not wanting to paint with too broad of a brush, though, I actually think people are coming back and taking a second look or a further look at a lot of different brands that they really haven't looked at in the longest time. I think 2020, everything's being examined.
Correct.
100%.
And prices are going up.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
So
that was it. The last one. Let's go over to MB&F. I mentioned we were talking about Max Booster before. So they brought out the Legacy Machine Perpetual Evo. I think that dropped in October. And I've always been a fan of the Legacy Machine, the original one, which dropped in 2015. It's MB&F's most complicated watch. Absolutely stunning timepiece. These are works of art. I mean, absolutely stunning watches. So they've taken the original Legacy Machine Perpetual and just made it a little bit more wearable. So they've thinned down the case. They've made it a bit more streamlined. They've brought it out in a new case material. This is in zirconium, pure zirconium, and so I think they say that's stronger than titanium. It's more corrosion resistant than stainless steel. Yada yada. There's a lot of technical benefits about this material. Limited to 45 pieces, in 15 in the orange, 15 in black, and 15 in the blue. And not super expensive, but it's still, I think it's about 160 USD, something like that. So very still sort of grail material, but if you can swing it, this is definitely one that I would love to be able to have a play with one day. And I just love Max Booster and friends MBNF. You know, they're kind of like I just love the fact that he works with sort of the best of the best in the industry. He's sort of like the Steely Dan of the watch industry, I reckon.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what
Nice
I mean?
analogy. Nice analogy.
Yeah,
like-
they want to.
When you go to a lot of boutiques and you buy a nice watch, you know, like maybe you'll get a glass of champagne or something. But with these guys, when you go pick up this watch, you get like a little bottle of lube to take home because they understand. They understand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was a really nice choice, and I have to say, I'm also a huge MBNF fan. So take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but I thought that they really nailed the very, very high-end sport type of watch, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
others
100%.
failed.
Yeah.
Right, like Laurent Ferrier, their like sport tourbillon.
Tourbillon.
Yeah, it was like really, you weren't getting much for tons of money, and the aesthetic was a little bit weird, right?
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, it's pretty a little bit a little uninspiring. A little bit the design I thought with the Laurent Ferrier.
Yeah, it felt a bit like the early Jaune sports watches, right? Where it's like kind of like they took their dress watch and like put a rubber strap on it. It was a little bit weird, but for this one, the Evo, I thought it was very well executed, and they went with their more complicated piece, right? They didn't just go with like the three-hander with the overhanging balance. I thought that was a bold choice to go with the perpetual calendar.
100%. Yep. Yeah, love everything about this piece. Beautiful watch. So that was it, guys. Maybe honorable mentions. The Zeitwerk Minute Repeater in blue. Couple from IWC. Neo mentioned that before. I think the Portuguesa Perpetual Calendar in 42. And nice to see them sort of downsizing that line from 44. Hello.
Yeah, we can still hear
Yep,
you.
Oh,
we hear you.
okay. Sorry, guys. What else we had? There was a GP, the Gerard Perregaux, had the Quasar Light, which was a bit of a work of art and really, really cool watch with the full sapphire case. So yeah, look, I just covered off some of the main, the big guns that I thought were the nice ones. There was a ton of watches that came out last year. Last year was a really weird year. I mean, we had COVID, but the watch industry was pulling out the big guns. So
Indeed.
you know they must have had, you know, in development, obviously, for the last few years, they'd been going nuts and developing a whole heap of watches. And, you know, we were the beneficiaries. We got to see some nice watches come out while we were all, you know, in
Cooped up
lockdown.
inside. Yep.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
So,
Yes.
it's been great to chat to you. I mean, anything else you want to tell us about?
Likewise.
More about your channel or about what's been going on? Or any more watch news you want to tell us about? Or
what else we got? No, that's about it, guys. I've kind of, you know, probably chewed everyone's ear off for a little while.
No, not at all. It was great.
no, it's
Thank you so
brilliant
much.
to hear from you. It's lovely.
We really appreciate it.
No,
And it
thanks.
was fascinating. You made some excellent choices, and you know, we got a chance to look at some really, really, you know, mind-blowing watches. So we thank you.
No problem. Thank you, guys. I really just wish everyone in the chat and all you guys a good 21. You know, hopefully you can pick up some pieces that you've had your eye on, and
Yeah, absolutely.
obviously staying safe with COVID and whatnot.
Hey, can
Right.
we post the link to Jean-Claude's channel?
Yeah, let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you put
see
it
if I can-
in the chat, JCB?
I will, guys. Yeah, check it out. I'd love to get your thoughts, guys, on, you know, watch collecting. I did a watch collecting video. You know, that one about strategy I was talking about.
That was
You know,
a
let me
really
know.
good one. That was a great video, that JCB. Really good one.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Oh,
I'll pop
my-
that up here. There
But
it
you
is.
don't have to go anywhere. You're staying, right? You don't have to leave.
Yeah, because we're gonna
Yeah. Oh.
we wanna do to wrap up the show here. We want to do something that Neo came up with. So I'll let you.
Why are you like sticking this on me?
Well, it was your idea, my friend. So you want me to introduce it? I will. But this was your baby.
Yeah. So here's the premise. Like we don't care about what your favorite watch was of last year. We don't care what your favorite watch is of next year. But we do care about what you think, and we do care about your participation. So this is it. This is a chat participation question. COVID is over. We all get like the phone call, like, you know, red alerts go off on our phones. COVID is over, and everybody, the entire universe, exits their house singing in unison. I'd like to teach the world to sing, and obviously we're all naked because why not? But we're wearing a ring. We're wearing like a watch. Everyone still has their shit on. So like, what watch are you wearing? It's got to be one that you own. You know, like you're about to join the universe. Like it may be a few days before you get back home. So you're going out there. What watch are you putting on?
Lucia.
Well, for me, it's easy because with no COVID and singing, I want to teach the world to sing. It's obviously something that's going to make me happy and make me smile. And the watch that makes me smile every time I look at it is my Bluesy. So that's a really one for me.
That's a good choice. Do we have the video, by the way? Can we cue it up so everyone gets?
I didn't copy it over. So, but anybody wants to hear it, I mean, you can go on YouTube.
Well, Forbin knows the song. He's referencing it.
Yeah, it was an old Coke commercial back in the 70s.
It was the Coke commercial. Yes,
correct.
Well, after the football. Oh God, I'm blanking.
Oh, Mean Joe Green. Yes.
Yeah, Mean Joe Green. Yes. That's probably the.
We're showing our age there, Neo. But that's cool.
I can't remember it. I can't remember it now. I was listening to it earlier, but I can't remember it. Can you remember it, Neo? Can you sing it for us?
I could, but I won't.
Oh, don't be shy.
Thomas, this is the wrong channel. We don't pay people to sing badly here.
Exactly. All right, Thomas, you're up next.
My choice, I'd go for my Panerai PAM 352. It's robust. It's not too flashy. It's a bit of a beater. It's not a nice watch, but it's a bit of a beater for me. And I wouldn't be afraid of what would happen to it if it's whether I'd bash it up or I wouldn't be afraid to. What would happen to it, just in case something might happen to it.
All right.
A Panerai diver. So, NS something. You're next.
Well, first off, I'd like to say that I would get out of my house wearing clothes because nobody needs to see that. But it would be for me, it would be the Moser Pioneer because I want something that's sporty, waterproof. You never know what's going to happen, but still, dressy because I'd expect I'd go to a nice restaurant if COVID's over. So that would be my choice.
Nice.
Great choice.
Nice.
Neo, what's yours?
Well, actually, for me, it's the PAM 111. I always think of that as the watch that I slap on if I'm going to just a party. So this sounds like an even better party, and it's, I like it. It's
great choice. Rancher, you got a choice?
Well, I try to escape hospitals in the nude. I'm not sure about my house. But,
You've got
a favorite watch you'd wear though?
Probably the offshore.
Oh,
Very
that's a great
nice choice.
Yeah, Navy themes.
Themes.
If I came to naked, I would want to distract as many people as I could with the watch.
It's a lovely watch, that one. JCB then. Our guest.
Thank you. Thanks so much, guys. So it would be the watch in my avatar. That's the Breitling Transocean. And
Oh,
you know,
lovely.
if we're going to be naked outside singing, I want something that's going to dazzle people and take the attention away from my flabby body. So you know, I'll just be flashing that Milanese bracelet around and trying to get people to look at that and not focus on me.
Very
So
nice.
that's it.
Good choice.
Right.
Good choice. All right. All right. Well, guys, we've
Chip
done.
Gage had the one that
Yeah. What
Chip
did he
Gage
say?
said he wants the Rainbow Daytona. So
Rainbow
Chip-
Daytona.
Chip gets
Perfect
it.
choice.
I'm going to party with Chip. He gets it.
That's a perfect choice. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, we're an hour and 10 in, so in our attempt to keep things nice and tidy, we'll start to wrap up here. JCB, thank you for joining us. Any final thoughts?
No, just a pleasure. You know, as I said before, you know, I really love what you guys have done with the channel and obviously with Flippin', kind of starting it off. It's become my sort of my favorite weekly YouTube channel. Love hearing you guys, and you know, great to actually be on the show and mix it up with you guys. Really appreciate it. Look forward to
Welcome
chatting.
anytime, my friend. Anytime. You just get in touch and we can delay the show for you.
Thanks so much. Yeah, and just again, another shout out to the punters. You know, guys. You know, I chat with you guys sort of. It's become like a daily basis now. We're catching up in the chats and all that sort of stuff. So good to shout out to you guys as well. You're all legends. So thank you. And as I said,
the best reason to come to this channel is to talk to the people in the chat.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't do it without them. We can't do it without them, can we?
Agreed. And especially this week, I mean, we're covering 3 continents, so we're covering a good chunk of the planet. So
that's what we do it for as well. Is who
awesome.
we do it for. So they're the people we do it for as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Rancher, any final thoughts?
Well, okay, I've got a follow-up question.
Sure.
If you knew that everyone was coming out of their houses naked, which house would you go into first that wasn't your own?
Interesting question.
Yeah, I'm driving to Jennifer Lopez's apartment.
Jenny from the block.
That's it. Okay. Neo, any final thoughts?
I think like I am kind of excited about the watch industry this year. I don't know why, but I kind of feel like there's going to be momentum and changes that we hopefully. It just kind of feels like something has to happen because whatever is going on is just getting way too tired and old. Mm-hmm. And seeing things like Rolex come up with colors, I mean, that's got to tell you that, like, look, the old tricks aren't really working anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this year. I'm looking forward to seeing some hopefully new designs coming out. So new ways of expressing time. I'm hopeful this year. I've never really been hopeful before, but for some reason this year I am.
Well, after the last year we had, I think we're all hopeful for new and improved, and when we can a chance that we can all get together again.
Absolutely,
not just on via Zoom or via YouTube or something like that. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Any closing thoughts?
I think like Neo, I'm a little bit hopeful for 2021. I think the cool thing is that everybody knows what they're doing. I think as far as the brands are concerned, right? Nobody's hoping that there will be an in-person big trade show, at least for the first half of the year. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that means that they've got their act together a little bit more this year. And we'll see. Look, hopefully we get a nice first half of the year with interesting releases.
Awesome. And now, lastly, the man, the myth, the legend, my friend Thomas Burnett.
Yeah, I'd like you all to get over to John Claude Beaver on YouTube and subscribe if you can. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. He's got some great content already, and he'll be dumping out many more videos, I'm sure. What JCB?
For sure, man. For
And,
sure. Look, it's when I get the time, I just want to, I'll put out a few more videos, and hopefully it's just interesting. I just want to, rather than going over like the specs of the watch or whatever, I'd just like to
Yeah.
give a bit more insight and the wearing experience and just more thoughts on collecting and just the stuff that we
Yeah.
think about more as
A lot more-
collectors. So
A lot more to come in 2021,
That's
I'm
it.
sure. Yeah. So that's about it, really, for me. I'd like to invite more
Nice.
people to dinner as well.
I think we all would, and
Hey.
hopefully, when this stupid virus has been defeated, we can all start having dinner parties and getting together with friends and family, because that's the one thing that we can all agree on that we've all missed
And
dearly.
also a big shout out to Flipping Zippo. Big love,
Yes, that was just going to be my closing thought. Again, to thank Jean-Claude Viver for joining us, and a big shout out to our friend Flippin' Zippo. We love you. We miss
Come
you.
back.
Please come back. You're wanted back. I know you're out there listening, but please come back. You're always welcome. You're always going to get the link. You're always going to be our friend. When you're ready, come back. We truly love you. And on that note, I want to thank you all. We really appreciate it. It was thank you to everybody that was in the chat. Hang in there, Rancher. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Breathe, my friend.
Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. Spread the word if you could.
Give us a thumbs up if you could. That'd be great. We'd love that.
Yep. We enjoy just hanging out. It's just like we've always said, the show is just about a bunch of friends hanging out and talking about watches, and we want to continue to do so. And we love you all. And until next week, we will see you guys again soon.
Yep.
Take care, guys.
Listens out
Take
there.
care, everyone.
Come back, Lucian.
Yep. Take care, everyone.
Later,
See you.
fellas.
Happy New Year.